The United States carried out an airstrike against Islamic State militants in northwest Nigeria at the request of Nigeria's government. U.S. President Donald Trump and the U.S. military said on Thursday, claiming the group had been targeting Christians in the region. Tonight, at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who have been targeting and viciously killing, primarily, innocent Christians, at levels not seen for many years, and even centuries, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. The U.S. military's Africa Command said the strike was carried out in Sokoto State at the request of the Nigerian authorities and killed multiple ISIS militants.
The United States has carried out airstrikes against terrorist targets in Nigeria. The operation, announced by President Donald Trump, was aimed at Islamic State-linked militants responsible for years of violence, kidnappings, and mass killings. Almost immediately, reactions were divided. Some critics outside Nigeria argue the strikes are about foreign interests, oil, resources, or geopolitical influence, and represent an attack on Nigeria's sovereignty. But many Nigerians on the ground see the situation very differently. For communities that have lived under constant threat from Islamic terror, losing families, livelihoods, and entire villages, the strikes are not viewed as exploitation. They are seen as long overdue relief. Their argument is simple. Resources mean nothing if terror prevents you from harnessing them. A nation cannot develop, govern, or prosper when people are afraid to farm, trade, worship, or sleep.
Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done.
To understand this debate, we must understand Nigeria's insecurity. Nigeria's violence is not one conflict and not one religion. It includes jihadist groups like Boko Haram and ISIS affiliates, armed bandit networks, communal clashes, and criminal gangs. Christians and Muslims alike have been victims. This complexity is why opinions differ on foreign military involvement. Supporters argue that international air power can weaken terrorist strongholds, save civilian lives, and give Nigerian forces breathing space. Critics warn that airstrikes alone cannot solve a deeply rooted crisis, and that long-term security must come from within Nigeria, not from outside. Both views raise valid points. Military action may disrupt terror networks, but it cannot replace strong local governance, intelligence, and trust between citizens and the state. Decade-long exploitation of the masses by Nigeria's phenomenally corrupt political elite has disenfranchised many and turned them into easy recruits for terror. So what is the way forward? First, Nigerian security forces must be strengthened, reformed, and properly equipped. Second, counterterrorism must go beyond bombs, addressing poverty, education, and radicalization that fuel recruitment. Third, any international support must respect Nigerian sovereignty and prioritize civilian protection. And finally, peace must be measured not by headlines, but by whether ordinary Nigerians can live without fear. Nigeria's struggle with violent extremism has deep roots and affects millions of everyday lives. External support, whether military or diplomatic, can be welcomed by some and questioned by others. What's most important is that any solution respects Nigerian sovereignty, protects all civilians, and focuses on long-term peace, not short-term headlines. But then again, what is sovereignty in a country where terror networks run parallel governments with their own forms of taxation and oppressive laws in the host communities they have captured and subdued, all within full view of the supposed elected government of the day? You be the judge.